Dear friends, good morning. In the last three lectures, we have learned that what are all the forces for the rotating movement, what are the variables will contribute of the torque of the motor. Similarly, for a linear motion also, we end up with this equation that torque is equal to half of I square into dl by dx for linear motion. For angular motion, half of I square L into I square into dl divided by d theta. We have already learned. After that, so from this we can conclude that the inductance value for the rotating machine, inductance will vary with respect to rotor angle. Then also last two lectures we have learned one salient pole machine. What if suppose if we are sitting in the stator and if you move around the air circumstance of the rotor, so salient pole machine in between that in pole axis we can have less air gap, and interpole region we have more air gap. Accordingly, their inductance will change. So for salient pole motor, stator inductance have two component. That inductance which is due to that small air gap of the pole shoes region, and inductance due to the large air gap of interpole region we have learned. Then similarly, the same machine in the salient pole machine, if you sit in the rotor and if you move the circumstances of the stator, we can see that entire air gap length is constant. So automatically rotor inductance will constant. It will not vary with respect to theta, but stator inductance will vary with respect to theta due to the variation in the air gap. Similarly, if we use this non-salient pole machine is rotor is also cylindrical, stator surface also cylindrical. If that is the case, if you are sitting in the rotor and moving around the air gap surface, that time the rotor inductance will be always same, since that air gap is smooth. Similarly, if you sitting in the stator and if you move around of the stator, the rotor air gap length is again constant, moves same, so that we came to know the self inductance which will not change. At the same time, mutual inductance will change with respect to the field component. Since if the rotor is rotating, automatically field will if suppose this field is like this, field reference will be this side. Then after that, if the rotor is rotating, field reference will change. So automatically with respect to stator and rotor, mutual inductance of stator as well as rotor mutual inductance effect will be changed with respect to current flowing through the stator as well as current flowing through the rotor. So also in the salient pole non-salient pole machine, we have learned little bit the derivations also, but I have not completed. Today I am going to explain about that inductance of self-inductance of the rotor and stator for this non-salient pole machine. So cylindrical rope. After that, we can understand what is the self-inductance and mutual inductance, everything of salient pole machine. So let me share my presentation. So now this is the self-inductance of stator as well as rotor. So now I am exciting only the stator. Let me assume that I am exciting only the stator. So when I excite only the stator, this is the coil. Here current is entering, and this is the coil. Current is from here, leave away from the view, the plane where we are looking this circuit. So current is entering. So the coil span of this entire stator is from here to coil span will be from here to this entire region. So this is for pi. Coil span is pi. So now, according to the Fleming's right hand rule, if the current is entering here. So what happened? This magnetic flux path, magnetic line path will be. It will come through this. Let me take another one color. Magnetic line path will be come to the rotor and come to the stator, and it will be like this. So what happened? This current is entering. So according to Fleming's right hand rule, so magnetic flux direction will be like this. Like this, we will get many magnetic flux lines will passes through like this. So similarly, current is leaving here. So we have the magnetic flux line region will be this direction, so that we will have many magnetic flux lines will be there in this region. So if you go take this current is, if you see my hand, current is entering and current is leaving. Therefore, that magnetic flux line will be this direction. Magnetic flux maximum will be in this direction, so that this is the reference of the magnetic flux due to the stator. Reference of the stator. So now, as this is the uniform air gap, this is the uniform air gap, the magnetic flux will be constant through this entire region, through this. Then this is the positive side. Since this is the arrow mark is this side. Arrow mark is going this side. Magnetic flux density. So this is positive side. So this is the negative of this maximum area, this side. From this is assume this is the reference of. Let me take another one color. So this is the reference at which we are moving from. Take this angle as alpha. We are moving from 0 and starting going to pi. Then we are moving again to 2 pi. So from alpha equal to 0 to pi, we have positive maximum magnetic flux density since air gap is uniform. Then in this region, there we have maximum magnetic flux density, negative of maximum magnetic flux density. So already, so we are going to learn self-inductance of the stator as well as rotor if the cylindrical wave, cylindrical circuit, cylindrical stator as well as rotor are cylindrical. So smooth surface. So now let me take the self-inductance of the stator as we have excited the stator. Self-inductance. So let me take this inductance value is Ls. Already we know that inductance is nothing but flux linkage divided by current which is flowing through this circuit. So we should know what is the flux linkage. If you know the flux linkage, if you divide it by current, automatically we will get this stator, stator in self-inductance. Self-inductance of stator. That is what Ls, self-inductance of stator. So now, let me take this. According to the Ampere circuited law, line integral of H vector, already we have practiced this one in the previous lectures. DL vector is equal to number of turns in the current flowing through this circuit. So otherwise current enclosed. So if the number of turns are there, automatically we will write number of turns of the stator is Ns, and current flowing through the stator is Is. So now, if you take this region, let me take another one color so that you can easily understand. Let me take this line, magnetic flux. What happened? This will, current will enter, flux will pass from here, then entering into this air gap. Maybe you take it, the air gap length is constant Lg. Then you can again, it is going to the rotor, then again coming back again crossing to Lg. Therefore, then you can, then it is coming back to here. So this is the loop. So according to the Fleming's right hand rule, so according to the Ampere circuited law, so we have to write magnetic flux density of this circuit. So I assume other iron region, magnetic permeability, already we know the reluctance is nothing but L by mu A. Therefore, for iron region, we are assuming that relative permeability will be infinity. Automatically, the reluctance will be 0. So we no need to worry about that reluctance of this iron path. Only we have to take the reluctance due to the air gap. So relative permeability of the air is 1, so automatically the mu naught will come into the picture. So we have to take it the magnetic field intensity in the air gap only. If you write accordingly, you can, if you have a doubt, just you can refer the previous lectures also. Then we can have that magnetic flux intensity Hg, here the magnetic flux intensity Hg into the length of the air gap Lg, then returning path again, magnetic flux intensity, I am assuming that constant, so Lg, then length of the air gap, Lg, Hg into Lg, that is equal to Ns into Is. So from this, we can have Hg equal to Ns into Is divided by 2 Lg. We can have Ns into Is divided by 2 Lg. Then let me write this equation for magnetic flux density. Magnetic flux density is nothing but mu naught into magnetic field intensity. So we have mu naught Ns Is divided by 2 Lg. We have mu naught Ns Is divided by 2 Lg. So then from this we can conclude that magnetic flux density is always constant. Magnetic flux density is always constant. So this region, the pole already I have shown to you, from alpha to pi, magnetic flux is constant. So then similarly from pi to 2 pi also magnetic flux magnitude is constant. However, this is positive side, this is negative side. So one can draw this waveform like this. This is the alpha. Alpha is varies from 0. Then again we can have here pi. Then we can have here 2 pi. So from alpha 0 to pi, we have positive magnetic flux. Bg is nothing. Bg, this is y-axis is Bg. So this magnitude is nothing but mu naught Ns Is divided by 2 Lg. Then we can have the negative side also. The magnitude is also same, mu naught Ns Is divided by 2L. So this is the waveform distribution of the entire circumference of the air gap. So this is the magnetic flux density. Now we should know what is mean by flux. If we know flux, number of turns into flux is nothing but flux linkage. Our goal is we have to find out psi s. So now psi s is nothing but number of turns in the stator in the total magnetic flux lines, magnetic flux in Weber. That is what I have written here, 5T. 5Ts of 5Ts mean 5Ts is nothing but total magnetic flux of the stator. So now then what is mean by magnetic flux here? Here number of turns in the flux is nothing but flux is nothing but area in the magnetic flux density. Therefore we can have Bg in the area. So then from this we can write this equation. Flux is nothing but N mu naught Ns square Is divided by 2 Lg in the area. So we should understand this area. Area is, this is a cylindrical surface. So this we are cutting in this. This view is in the front view of the cut. So how it will be here? Let me draw the circuit. Draw the cylinder like this. This is a cylinder. Then we have, this is 0. Then this is pi. So the length of the cylinder is nothing but we have L. Then this radius also we have assumed that radius of the cylinder. So now this entire span we have to find out magnetic flux intensity, magnetic flux magnetic flux linkage. So how we will find out this area? Already we know circumference area of the circumference we can write ns mu naught ns square is divided by 2lg. Area is the contribution of r into l. Then from 0 to pi. So from here is the reference. We can write pi minus 0. Pi minus 0. So this region. So since this is also same, so you no need to calculate from 0 to pi. If we calculate 0 to pi, automatically we will not get the exact value, plus minus automatically it will be 0. So that we will have mu naught ns is square. So from this we can write it as mu naught ns square is divided by 2lg into RL into pi, length of the cylinder and axial length of the rotor, and the radius as well, radius of the stator, and that pi, the coil span is pi. So we will have this equation. So from this already we know psi s. So let me take better, I can take next another one minute. So then from, let me otherwise rough from, okay. So from this we can write it now. Already we have calculated psi s is nothing but mu naught n s square is into pi rl divided by 2lg. Then from this inductance is ls is nothing but psi s divided by is. So we can have mu naught ns square pi rl divided by 2lg. So this is the inductance of the self-inductance of the stator. So self-inductance of the stator is independent of rotor angle. Rotor angle, it is always constant since this is cylindrical. So that we are considering only the linear circuit. We are assuming that the circuit is linear. For non-linear circuit, so we have to consider this energy level, everything. Accordingly, we have to calculate. So my intention is to understand this self-inductance calculation by considering this linear circuit. So then similarly, if you one can try with rotor, so rotor self-inductance also, this rotor self-inductance means instead of exciting stator, we have to excite the rotor. So current is entering here, then current is leaving here, so that magnetic flux linkage will be passing through this air gap. So that instead of what we will have the difference is nothing but integration of, again we have to write integration of h dot dl is equal to number of turns in the rotor and current flowing through the rotor. Then already we know hg, already how we will find out hg, same thing, hg into lg plus hg into lg equal to nr ir. So from this we can conclude, as like previous, Bg is nothing but mu naught nr is divided, nr ir divided by 2lg. Instead of ns, here nr, instead of is, here ir. That is the only difference. So accordingly, if you derive it, you will have the self inductance of the rotor also, flux linkages of the rotor, current flowing through the rotor, that is nothing but mu naught n r square pi rl divided by 2l. So this is the equation of self-inductance of the rotor. This is also independent on rotor angle. It's independent on rotor angle. So with this, I would like to conclude today's lecture about how one can find out the self-inductance of the stator as well as the rotor if the rotor is cylindrical. The next lecture I will explain what is the value of how to derive this value of mutual inductance if we have cylindrical rotor and air gap is uniform. I hope it is understandable. Those who are when we go through these videos, I already one time I started to derive this for explaining some concepts, so that I thought better I can derive clearly for better understanding. Those who are really understanding the concept and give me the feedback, and for better improvement also you subscribe this channel also. Which in the next class I will come with the mutual inductance of the cylindrical rotor. Wish you all the best. Thank you.